everyone. Professor McAllister here. Thank you for joining me again. This episode, I'm going to teach you about nouns. When I originally considered talking about the parts of speech, I was going to include nouns and verbs together. However, I realized that there's a lot about each of the topics, and it would probably be better if I kept them separated. So this episode is about nouns, and I'm going to switch over now to a PowerPoint so I can show you examples as I teach it to you. Thank you. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you what nouns are. I'm going to talk about the different types of nouns and the different purposes that nouns can function as. And I'm going to give you some practice sentences and then we'll review, okay? Nouns are a person, place, or thing. Examples include girl, child, car, computer, school, sky, New York City. People's names are also considered nouns. Nouns are divided into two categories, common and proper. Common nouns include things such as cat, house, sport, plate, and book. Proper nouns include people's names and titles, cities, states, etc. You can see the examples that I have on the board. Common nouns are not capitalized unless they are the first word in a sentence or are part of a title. So, for example, eagles, we wouldn't normally capitalize the word eagle if it were in the middle of a sentence, but because in this example, eagles have very strong talents, because eagles is the first word of the sentence, you have to capitalize the E. The next example, to kill a mockingbird, you would not ordinarily capitalize mockingbird. However, mockingbird is part of a title here, so it is capitalized. Proper nouns are always capitalized. So let's look at these examples. The student grew up in a village in Ghana. Ghana is a country in Africa, so it would be capitalized. The next example. Benjamin applied to two different universities, Columbia University and Louisiana State University. You capitalize the titles of businesses or institutions, companies, and so forth. Okay, the next example. Internships are available at Microsoft, Apple, and Google. All three of those institutions will be capitalized. And then the final example, Dr. Ahmed prescribed medication for the sick little boy. Ahmed is the doctor's last name, and so it would be capitalized. Notice throughout these examples there are nouns that are not capitalized. In the first example, student and village. Those are common nouns. They are not capitalized. The next sentence, universities. Universities is a common noun. It is not capitalized. The next sentence, internships. Now it is capitalized because it's the beginning of the sentence. Otherwise, it would not have been capitalized. And then the last one, medication, is not capitalized because it's a common noun. And boy is not capitalized because it's it's a common noun. Let's practice with working with common and proper nouns. So these 3 sentences contain errors. Some words are capitalized that should not be, and some words that should be capitalized are not. The first sentence, the airplane flew above the clouds. We traveled by train to Germany. My favorite movie is The Sound of Music. So take a few seconds and look at these sentences and see if you can figure out which words should not be capitalized and which words should be capitalized. You can also pause right here if you'd like to have even more time. And the answers? The airplane flew above the clouds. Neither airplane nor clouds are capitalized. They are common nouns. In the next sentence, Germany is capitalized because Germany is a country. And then in the last example, my favorite movie is not capitalized. Movie is a common noun. However, the title of the movie will be capitalized. The nouns will be capitalized. The Sound of Music. Of is not capitalized. For one thing, it's not a noun, but it's also not an important word. Okay? Now I'm going to talk to you about the different purposes that a noun serves. The only one I'm going to spend a lot of time on is that when a noun is the subject of a sentence. I will explain all 3, the subject of a sentence, the subject complement, and then object. But for the purpose of the TEAS, you really only need to know when it's the subject of a sentence. And that is because if you have to identify an incomplete sentence, you have to know what is the subject or if there is a subject. Okay? So when a noun serves as the subject of a sentence, it is the person or the thing doing the action. When a noun is a subject complement, it is used with a linking verb. A noun can also be an object, and that includes a direct object, indirect object, or the object of preposition. I'm going to give you examples of these on the next slide. But the most important one for the purpose of the TEAS is a noun is a subject of a sentence. Here is an example of a noun serving as the subject. The cat ate. Cat is the noun. It's doing the action, which was ate. Okay, I'm using real simple sentences here because I want to try to make this as clear as possible for everyone. The next example, the child cried. Child is the subject because it's doing the action. The action is cried. Subject complement is used with a linking verb. Okay, as an example, the teacher is a scholar. In this case, teacher's the subject, and the word scholar is identifying the teacher. So that's an example of it being a subject complement. Both teacher and scholar are nouns. In the next sentence, the women are veterans. Both women and veterans are nouns. Women, The noun women tells who the veterans are. So women is the subject and veterans is the subject complement, okay? The final purpose that we're going to talk about is when a noun serves as an object, and that could be either direct object, indirect object, or object of the preposition. Both of these examples are of a direct object. So the first sentence, the boy ate the ice cream. Boy is the subject, noun. What did the boy eat? Ice cream. So in this case, ice cream is the direct object. It's a noun, but it's the direct object because it tells what the boy ate. The next example, the students read books. Students is a noun serving as the subject. Books is what the students read. So books would be the direct object. It's a noun, but its function in the sentence is direct object. Okay, let's practice identifying nouns. Again, I'm going to keep the screen up for a few seconds to give you time to try to figure this out yourself. And as always, you're welcome to pause the video here if you think you need a little more time, okay? The first sentence is, the students were excited about their upcoming trip to New York City. The second sentence, my aunt and uncle live in Louisiana. The third sentence, skiing is a dangerous sport, but many people enjoy it. And then the last sentence, if the weather permits, we will go to the beach. So, see how many nouns you can find in those sentences. The answers in the first sentence, students, trip, and New York City are all nouns. In the second sentence, aunt, uncle, and Louisiana are nouns. The third sentence, skiing, sport, and people. Those are all nouns. And then in the last sentence, the nouns are weather and beach. I hope you got all those correct. A noun is a person, place, or thing. There are two types of nouns, common and proper. Proper nouns are always capitalized, and nouns can serve three purposes. A noun can be the subject complement, and a noun can be an object. For the purpose of the TEAS, you only need to be concerned when the noun is the subject. And that's because in order to have a complete sentence, you have to have a subject and a verb. The next video will be about verbs. Thank you for watching. I hope my video was helpful. And please feel free to send me an email if you have any questions. teasreading1@gmail.com. You're also welcome to post any questions or comments below. Thank you. Hi, thanks for watching my video. If you found my video helpful, please indicate it by hitting the like button. You're also welcome to leave any questions or comments down below. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll receive notification of all my future videos. Thank you.